There was something about a rap battle with Mumdani. Something.
Mundani want to rap battle me?
That's why I saw something on the internet about this.
No way he called me out. Mundani ain't fucking with me. Listen, I'm already coming for his spot because I'm about to be mayors in like 4 years or whatever, you know?
It's so hard to say goodbye to think about them when the day to end. Doug and paparazzi, my Mercedes Benz 5%. Gotta drive an hour, drive my eye behind the 10. Gotta speed and drive the beat.
We're here with A$AP Rocky. How are you doing today?
I'm all right, man. How you doing, bro?
Good. How's your week been so far?
It's been good, man. Thanks for asking.
I know we had the Met Gala earlier this week.
I was looking lovely. I was looking very Harlem in that good pink and salmon and all that. Shout outs to Chanel. Keep that Chanel on.
What's it like, going to something like the Met Gala? You were there obviously with your partner, Rihanna.
I think it's like you get to a place where you anticipate it so much, especially when the day starts, and then your whole day, at least for me in my experience, is just preparation. You just prepping. You know what I'm saying? You just getting makeup, hair, nails, this, that, glam, whatever the case, tailoring, suits, whatever. And you do all that to get shit-faced at the party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get drunk. And I remember one year, Waiss sparked up some gas in there. Whoa. It was lit.
Like in the Met Museum?
In the Met Gala.
Yeah.
I don't know how he had that much blunts, but he's just giving them out. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, how many have you gone to at this point?
Not a lot. I probably only been to like 5 or 6 or something.
Just to call them like 6.
Yeah, not a lot. I know people that got like the, double digits.
And then, this is for, obviously, you're the first cover star of the new Vibe magazine.
Yeah.
So we dug back and found you guys' first appearance in Vibe. I believe it was 2012. 12? Yes. So we've got it here.
Oh shit! This is in L.A. We was inside. We was Venice Beach, I think. You know? Yeah, the Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's it like, kind of looking back on that? Because that's what, 15 years ago, 14?
Yeah, I see a lot of niggas in this I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to burn this.
Yeah. Well, now with new beginnings, reset. What's the biggest difference between that Rocky and this Rocky?
That Rocky and this Rocky is maturity. Mm-hmm. I think a little bit of, evolution in time, I think we judge people, or you just base people's character off the decisions that they make. And I made a couple of good decisions to make sure that, I didn't end up in a bad permanent predicament. And I think just me foreshadowing what it could be or what it can't be back then, and just knowing that I didn't want to be this, I did want to be this, I want to be like, this is who I am, this is not who I am. I think back then I was just kind of like solidifying my spot in, this rap game, this music genre. And I think more so than ever now, it's like, it's a reemergence, revivals, all of that is just like, it's ever going. I mean, I don't know if what I'm going to be doing in 10 years. And hopefully, knowing me, more than likely still going to be doing music. I don't know what that's going to look like, what that's going to sound like, what my vibe is going to be, but it's not going to be what I'm on today. Today, I'm on some Tim Burton, ghetto expressionism, German expressionism shit, dad swag, suits tailored, pushing 40 swag, right?
Pushing 40 swag, yeah.
I mean, know how it is. I know you go around that age group,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's what's so crazy about looking back at that time, because it's like, so much about the way hip hop looks right now. I feel like you guys had to open that door.
We
did.
Know
what I mean?
We solidified the spot, bro. And now it's a norm, it's a standard. Like, ain't it crazy that like any typical artist any contemporary typical artist from today's age has to already have the full package. There has never been a tacky superstar since me. Like, you know what I mean? Since I came out, not saying I'm tacky, but you get what I mean? Like, since I came out, everybody know how to dress. Everybody's into fashion.
Yeah.
Everybody got the braids, or they got the dreads that look like the braids, or they got the gold grills, or they got all those trends that we did 15 years ago, Margellas and Rick Owens and Raf Simons and all that shit. Like, now it's just like crazy to see kids look at that as the the epitome of like almost like how when people look at Pharrell and Nigo and you could classify that like '06 to '09, 2010 era to '05 to 2010 era, like BBC and Bape and just, you know, how to go back. Like it's a catalyst, right? I'm a catalyst for change, but my style changes quite more than often. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna be doing in 10 years. I know I'm gonna be on some next shit because that's just what I be on. And right now, I'm just on some like I said, full effect dad mode shit. Like I'm loving this shit.
Yeah, what's your day-to-day as like pops?
It varies. Some days are busier. Some days you more freed up to just, you know, kick it with the shorties, you know.
And it's all boys, right?
Nah, I got one
daughter.
baby girl, and I got 2 badass boys. Yeah.
What's it like, you know, just being a father to these 2 young men, especially?
Man, I love it, man. You know, my second child, man, he's very, very, very intelligent, and he reminds me so much of his mother. My firstborn reminds me of me. He's to himself, you know, a real introvert. And the daughter, she just runs the show. I want to make sure that I teach my boys like discipline and, you know, keep them grounded, keep them humble as much as possible, because they could be considered nepo babies and shit. So I just don't want them on that bullshit. So I just got to make sure they chill with their cousins, the rough cousins that's going, you know, keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Make sure that they, you know, check in every now and then. But they little now. You know, they got a couple years until, you know, I got to worry about all of that stuff.
Would you imagine them getting into music? Is that something you kind of want?
Sure. I'm the type of dad, man, like, listen, whatever they ready, whatever they into, I just want to elevate that experience. So if my son wants to be an ice cream man, we're going to make the most like incredible ice cream truck. We're going to disrupt the industry in the category. We're going to do services. It's not going to just be no Mr. Frosty song just going down the block. It's going to be some next level shit. People look at it like as a small deal, like ice cream man, like haha, but it's like, I mean, I'm quite sure, you know, Ben & Jerry's is a multi-billion-dollar industry at this point. You know, I'm quite sure Haagen-Dazs is a multi-billion-dollar industry at this point, or a company at this point, excuse me. You know, so whatever they want to do. One of my sons, he want to be a pimp, I'm going to teach him how. Now I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Totally joking, guys. Totally joking.
You know, when you had your first child, you know, do you remember kind of any shift for you personally and how you sort of looked at the world pre and post becoming a father?
It was just so exciting because you just don't know what to prepare for. You don't know what's to come. So the second and third time was really similar to the first experience. So no matter what, that first experience is a first experience, right? It was incredible. I was excited. You know, it was just really funny. We were laughing while she was in labor, literally laughing.
Wow.
And cracking jokes and shit. It was cool, you know?
Wow. What do fatherhood duties look like to you at home?
Fatherhood duties just look like being emotionally present, emotionally available, you know, receptive, still, you know, endearing, but not only that, like loving, you know? That's easy. That's me. All day. That's just me. I walk around like that. You know, parent or not, you know, so I get to be me with these guys. Like the one thing that I don't do, I try not to swear around the kids, obviously, right? But I got a potty mouth, you know, so it's just, you know, that's the one thing that changed. Is like you got to watch what you say because they are sponges and they're listening, bro. They're listening.
Obviously, you had the project come out earlier this year. You know, how did you balance kind of becoming a father and also, you know, having this really anticipated album?
It wasn't easy because, like, you know, it's almost like that doctor analogy that people use. I'm totally going to butcher it, but it goes a little something like, legend has it, it goes like, you know, the doctor who's a great doctor to all his patients is considered a just absent parent, you know. A present father is all the time, you know. It's just finding balance. And you know, just I learned something at Virgil's funeral, just listening to his friends thank his wife in the front row for being so selfless and giving him to the world, you know, while he could have been like, nobody knew he had kids till he died. That's fucking crazy. And that's not because he was keeping them a secret. He's just a private person, and his private life is his private life. He had the luxury of having a private life and being like, you know, famous or whatever, right? And I think like I'm just sitting there and just everybody's just like, he always said that like, now is the time waits for no one, just do it. It don't matter if it's gonna be, if you know, if it's not the best, the 2.0 is better. You know what I'm saying? Just do it, just put it out there first, because you're gonna be upset when somebody else do it. Cause no idea is new, nothing's new under the sun. We all grab from the same, you know, inspiration.
Right.
At the same time sometimes. And you ever have a crazy idea that you think you the only one that came up with, and then six months down the line, 3 months down the line, some person you don't even know doing that shit, don't that piss you the fuck off? Don't you start looking at your phone like, who's spying on me or something? Like, which one of my friends is a double agent? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's really just how life works out. So I think for the most part, it's like trying to balance sanity and still be inspired is really a tricky thing to do. And it's not easy. You gotta sometimes sacrifice, you know, time at home to be, you know, doing directing and writing sessions for, you know, and you know, whatever the case is, just work, you know, work related things. Sometimes you just got to be fully present for that. And I definitely was. And that's why, you know, right afterwards, you know, went back into dad mode. And, you know, when it's time to pop out for tour, I'm back out. I gotta dedicate my time to the fans again, because now I'm not at home. So that's just how that go. And that's what I signed up for. And it's a blessing to do this and to love what I do. And to make this brings me so much peace and happiness, yo. Like, for real, like all my endeavors, all jokes aside, me being able to just be this eclectic, creative dude and to whatever capacity I feel is no holds bars, you know? And it's a blessing. So, of course, you know, things get weary or just tiresome because you're human, but it's a blessing, dude, because it could be way, way different, way worse.
Yeah, what's the song? Anything's Better Than the One Train? That old one?
I took the one train last Christmas Eve.
Was that your first time back on it in a minute?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a Pooh Shiesty on and they still knew some dudes. Nah. Like 5 times. I'm like, bro, already now. Come on, now you causing attention. Sit the fuck down, like, you know.
This one, yeah. I mean, do you feel like you can be in New York and still feel like comfortable, or are you a little bit?
Yeah, I feel very much safe. I think the problem is that I get peace out of feeling comfortable, and especially in the city that I inhabited and I was born in and shit. Like, you know, I feel what just happened with, you know, the threat on, the attempt on, you know, our lives at our house. It was supposed to make us more scared and like, you know, more shook. Of course, we on point, but it's like I don't want to be robbed of my peace and joy. You know, the one thing that you could do in New York is like you don't need a vehicle,
right,
to just step outside and smoke your weed because it's legal now, and just you know, think, get inspired. Any other places you need mobility and you need a car or something like that to get into where it's happening at, to be in the spots and New York City, it doesn't matter what borough you step out your building, it's rocking, it's happening.
I mean, after that incident at the house, you know, especially, you know, you got the kids and everything. What was that feeling like kind of immediately after?
It was fucked up. It was hurtful. You know what I'm saying? It was scary, all that shit. You know, somebody attempted at me and my family. That shit was just fucked up, and it was unprovoked. It was out of nowhere, you know? Yeah.
Do you feel like, you know, the internet fandom, because you've been in the game now we just looked at a photo from 2012, you know, has the online part of this whole thing gotten more intense, do you feel like, over the past few years?
Intense in what way?
Like the fans kind of finding information or anything like that?
Nah, bro, they been on that before I was even famous, bro. Like, man, Robert De Niro would land in London and you already have 30 fans at his hotel. Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, fucking whoever, Kanye, like, you know, that was before internet, you know. Fans, if they really like real loyal fans and stands and they love you that much, they gonna figure out a way to, you know, get to you, you know, welcome you. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they just be they want a hug, they want an autograph, they want a what's up, they want a picture, they want simple shit, you know. And I don't want that one incident to, you know, set a precedent that, you know, it's not, you know. It's just like there are mentally challenged people out there, obviously, you know, and there are people who are mentally like ill and shit, and there are lots of people who are normal and are just fans. And that incident definitely, you know, had changed a lot, but it took away a lot of like peace and happiness of being able to just be free. But in my own city, I do not feel afraid or threatened. To answer your question, sorry.
Speaking of, you know, your own city, there was something about a rap battle with Mamdani. Something.
Mamdani want to rap battle me?
That's why I saw something on the internet about that.
No way he called me out.
Or somebody at the Met asked you about doing a rap battle with Mamdani.
Mamdani ain't fucking with me. Listen, I'm already coming for his spot because I'm about to be mayors in like 4 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so listen. If he want to battle, we could do that. If he want to, you know, have a little debate, we could do that too, man. I know I'm here to do some humanitarian work for the city that I'm from. All bullshit aside, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be exploiting nothing. I'm really gonna run for mayor. Watch this shit. Watch. I'm gonna be granting y'all all type of policies and
just grab it at the store for free.
I ain't say all that now loud. See, you know, nah, fucking with you.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Where it's like, as you kind of get older, is that, you know, what kind of things do you see yourself getting into pushing 40, past 40?
All jokes aside, I think like politics have so much like just the word just has so much negative connotation when you think about it, right? I feel like politics is like how officers in the academy start out. They like, I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be the best hero cop. Like, and then they get in and they see the harsh reality of corruption and just protocol and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain cops who, if they don't issue a certain amount of tickets, they didn't reach their quota. And so that's why sometimes when you didn't even do nothing, you just get tickets for just existing because they got to reach a quota to keep their job. It's all bullshit. Instead of people think being a cop is just catching bad guys all day. Nah, man, it's politics to this shit. So for me, I just want to do something that's like non-political, just is nothing malicious, nothing. I just want to do some cool shit for the people. Like, I'm a man of the people. I'm for the people. I'm from the people. So I'll just be trying to put on and look out for my people. That's all. And see some smiles. You know what I'm saying? See some smiles on people's faces. We doing a cookout this summer with DJ Webstar, my boy Knock who I grew up with, and all of the crews in Harlem from when we were like 15, 16, 17 teenagers that had their names. I was part of a crew named MDB before I joined ASAP. It was this crew called Square Off. They Dougie Fresh Kids. My friends, like even Ferg was part of a crew called Harlem Envy, HMV. You know, the girls had crews, Lady Mafia, Trump Divas, Rich Girls, even down to fucking Brooklyn groups like the Barbies, Fifth Ave Barbies, like all of them people, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? They all invited, yeah. But we gonna do something like that, you know, just to remember, like, you know, almost like a class of, you know.
Wow, yeah.
Look, we want nutcrackers. We got all, like, we might have to bring back the sour and the haze just because that's what we was smoking back then. You know, we gonna have a good time, man, you know?
Yeah, I mean, do you see some of your peers from when you were coming up kind of in the same position as you started to become parents, enter their more adult phase of life?
I don't really fuck with a lot of these niggas, so I don't have too many peers.
Something I was thinking of was I remember when you guys were first coming out, Odd Future was also happening, and
that
everyone
nigga
assumed.
Tyler ain't got no damn kids, and you know that. Like, so I.
But it's interesting though. I feel like both of y'all are kind of like from the same era, but y'all are cool, right?
It's my brother.
Yeah.
I hate him. Yeah, man. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I be just so proud of that dude, man. Cause like, he's one guy that I do consider a genuine friend in the industry full of just fakes and snakes and crabs, you know. So
getting back to the album itself, there's a couple tracks on there that I think about a lot. The one being Punk Rocky.
that shit was fire, bro.
I feel like people slept on that.
They still
OD.
sleep on it because they was mad because that was the first. I had to throw them off. It's not, the whole album ain't Punk Rocky. The whole album ain't Helicopter. The whole album ain't like just one kind of like sound. Just play it, sit down, and enjoy it. Shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I thought the song was real cool. And I was like, you know, what inspired you to take that direction?
Just did it. That's what I'm on. That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. So that's what I made.
Because thinking kind of you guys too, I mean, especially when you were coming up, the first project you had, Clams Casino, was producing on it. And I feel like you've always kind of had a good connection to kind of the underground and more indie sounding things.
For sure. A 1,000,000%. I was just talking about how like now the underground is so similar to mainstream. Like these guys is like they, it's really no separation.
Yeah, it's like almost like a feeder to the labels
For sure.
versus like an actual scene.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're almost like too ahead of the curve with some of the stuff where it's like, are they going to understand this? Are they going to get it?
If they don't, fuck it. I look at it like, yo, I'm making what I fuck with. Like, I'm a chef. I'm cooking you these 5-star dishes. If you don't have this kind of quiet taste, don't listen to this shit. Don't eat my food. Shut the fuck up. Like, for real.
Yeah.
I'm not giving y'all McDonald's and shit no more. We getting older now. Like, what y'all want? I know you want some caviar. I know you want some Grey Poupon. I know you want some, right?
Yeah. Some steak tartare.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why we still ordering, if we don't have to, not shitting on it, but why we still ordering McChickens and McNuggets and being okay with that being the norm and the standard, and that's just what people like. We all could do that. The fucked up part about today is everybody has a phone, and the phone does so much for people. It provides. I don't want to even start shitting on people because I like to uplift people, but it provides this misconception of I could do everything. All I got to do is buy a 3D printer. I can do everything. All I got to do is type my resume up on ChatGPT. I could do everything. And rap is that one gateway to I can do everything. Rap music especially. Nobody even wants to be an artist anymore. You hear all of these negative things about record deals and record labels and everybody getting fucked over, 360 deals.
Right now, it seems like in hip hop especially, it's a lot of young people fighting for relevance on social media versus people trying to put out the best music.
Correct.
And I guess for you, putting out music in this environment, how does that affect kind of how you approach it?
Yo, JPEG Mafia and Earl Sweatshirt is online dissing each other, and they both fire. What the fuck?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Out of all of the lames that's dropping, y'all two want to beef with each other, and both of y'all fire in your own light. Even though it's just idle chatter and just like, you know, banter. But Kanye album, Baby Keem album, Don Toliver album, J. Cole album, Earl and Mike album, Rock Marciano album. I'm forgetting a couple people, and forgive me because some of them might be my homies, but we only in the 5th month of this year, and I just named so many fucking just one-of-ones that all decided to put it. This is a great year for music, bro.
Yeah.
A great year.
It almost feels like there's too much to pay attention.
Never too much. Never too much. Never too much. It's like, it's never too much when it's good. We've been starving. I know I've been starving. My fans been starving. I do apologize. But when I cook you this 5-star dish, gluttony ain't this taste. It's not gluttony.
Right.
You know?
I know you had the project with d.m.b. You had a few songs with him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another one where just being really connected to.
The fact is you
Come on.
yeah.
I mean, how did you guys get tapped in? How did you get into that world, that UK more underground world?
I fuck with the UK. Like I love London. For me, it's like Dean is probably he's one of the ones. You know, and he been producing on my albums since what, like, did he produce since Testing?
Oh wow.
You know,
Yeah.
he did the me and Lauryn Hill Frank Ocean track. He did the Guns and Butter with Project Pat and Juicy J. He did a couple joints. I can't remember off the top because that was it was almost like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
but,
damn.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Testing was 10 years almost?
Nah, like 8.
8, yeah.
Which is kind of
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's so crazy to think about kind of this new era where it seems like all the kids now are tapped into the newest, most underground, most niche kind of topic. And I feel like when you guys were coming up, you actually had to work kind of hard to figure out what was coming out and who was making what where.
We wasn't working hard. We like working hard to get that recognition. We just being ourselves. We went hard. Like, that was it. Like, I agree with you. I wasn't one of those. I'm not even trying to talk my shit right now, but I never ever had to beg for the attention, like the spotlight. Once that shit was on, nobody could dim it. I don't give a fuck if your light is brighter, you know, like your brightness, your light is your spotlight. And once you got that it factor with that, all that other shit is secondary. Being in the conversation and da. Nah, I know how to literally control to put my name in the conversation. I just did it months ago. Like, I showed you guys how to properly roll out an album in 2026. This is a proper album rollout. This is sonically actually elevating sounds and actually attempting to challenge not only the musicians making it, but the viewer, the listener, the person that's, you know, being receptive. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. And people could marginalize it, call it experimental or this or that or niche or indie. It's fucking music. It's art, essentially. That's it. I feel like art doesn't ever have to be explained. You know, like, true great artists make what it is and you come up with your own conclusion on how it makes you feel, right. You know?
And yeah, I mean, kind of speaking to the art too, you just got into furniture design. I saw something about a trash bag. Not just got onto, excuse me.
Nah, I love very much so.
But yeah, you put out it was like a trash bag. You could explain it.
Old.
That was old.
Whack, bro. We talking about, like, now I'm doing some other shit.
What's going on now?
You got to check out my website, gang. All right, so go to omade.com. Y'all going to see all the innovative little, you know, I guess little inventions I've been working on, because it's not just like chairs. It's a lot of innovative stuff. I made a modular studio out of speakers, a video game system, of course sofas. I partnered up with Goofram to make the classic cactus covers, and we've been doing a lot in the space.
Where does that start for you? Like, when did you first start getting into like product design and stuff?
When I got some money, like, you got to get an apartment to know, like, okay, damn, I think I need to sit on something. And then when you start going to the stores like CB2, whatever the fuck that shit is trash. You be like, everything looks the same. Everything look like some restoration hardware, you know. And then you like, man, I don't want to go in my house and feel like I'm in this person's house and that person's house and that person's house. We all got the same shit. And so my fashion sense is sort of like my design sense when it comes to furniture, because, you know, you don't call it furniture, it's called design. My design sense is like, I want to do stuff that stands out, that feels one of a kind, but still could be everyday and practical.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, speaking of the fashion too, the suit right now is your own brand. Og.
Shout outs to the team.
You know?
Yeah, we did that.
How are things going there, and what's your vision there?
We manufacturing in Italy, and every show that we do, we just elevate the experience, and we just come harder every time. You know what I mean? And I'm very proud of the projection of, like, where it's headed in the trajectory.
Because, you know, in music now, it's tough to do both, right? To do the music, but then also actually do the clothes well, and not
Tell me
just
about
be
it.
like merch or something, you know?
Tell me about. I do merch really well. Cut and sew and all that other stuff, and I mean that's like next level. So I'm more so like working with a team and the design team to make sure that it's executed the same way. I don't. I'm not going to. I'm not the guy sketching. Because I'm not the graphic designer. I don't make. You know.
But you still make the call of like whether you fuck with it or
You
not.
shit me? Yes, absolutely. I'm just being honest on what I contribute. At the end of the day, people always assume that like I'm in the back sewing up some shit then sketching it. That's a lie. No, I can't even do that. But at the same time, yes, it is hard to balance like really great ideas outside of just, music related shit to kind of be compatible to what you're doing all around, and make everything feel cohesive. That is a trick. That is a very, very hard thing to do. And not too many people could pull it off.
Right. And then with the tour you have coming up for this record,
fucking go crazy.
what's performing like for you? Because it's been a minute since you toured.
Performing is amazing. That's what we do it for. Like, I'm chilling right now. Like, if it was a crowd, they would give me this energy to make me get up and just be ready and just go crazy.
What do you anticipate for the tour? What are you thinking about bringing to people?
I don't know what to anticipate because I didn't tour in 8 years.
Right. A lot has changed.
Yeah, like my own like ASAP Rocky tours, Of course I did shows and like tours and festival runs and stuff, but I don't know what to anticipate. That's the best part. I try not to go into things with preconceived notions because that's how you get fucked up. You get let down. But when you kind of just go into it like, expecting whatever happens to happen, let nature take its course, that's sometimes you get surprises and gifts with it, man. That's in my experience.
For you, since you've performed at so many different levels, do you prefer, or is there anything that you like more where it's like the big crowd, maybe like the festival, versus playing at like a club and it's like a smaller, intimate setting?
I think that for me, it's like I get a kick out of like going to punk shows and it's like 15 people in the whole venue. But it's like 5 motherfuckers on stage and 10 to 13 motherfuckers in the crowd. And they just swinging, everybody got bloody noses. That shit is like, I don't know how I got into it, but it's like a stress reliever if you don't get hit too hard. Like, some superficial wounds, I'm okay with that. Like, you know what I mean? Leaving with a broken nose, ain't nobody gonna be happy about that. But like, for the most part, like, just getting out that energy, that aggression, is almost like boxing or, doing something disciplinary like kung fu or karate, like, to teach you discipline. It's therapeutic, So when you see those punk bands and those rock and those metal guys, like, yelling at the top of their lungs, it's just an art form of expression. And those guys that are punching the air is just getting out aggression. It's all those rebellious kids. That's why they were called little punks. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they runaways, strays, all of these kids is just like trying to figure it out in a world that's just too complicated for them. And it's a niche. It's a niche following, but it speaks volumes.
I mean, going back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, I feel like, your generation of hip hop really bridged that gap of like the kids who are into these other kinds of music and bringing them into the fold and vice versa.
I agree.
Like, did you notice it in the crowds of like, oh, there's some hipsters here now?
What? It was so crazy that I'm like, oh shit, it's gangsters here with the hipsters. Like, you know what I mean? In the beginning, it was like, what the fuck, And yes, but that's New York. Brooklyn, Williamsburg, gangsters, hipsters. Dumbo, gangsters, hipsters. The projects is right there. The nice buildings right there with the high rise. Like, that's just, those same guys are gonna go buy the same $2 beers down the block,
right?
Listen to the same band and get fucked up together. 2 different worlds. And that's what music does. It just, that's what culture does. That's why I love this. Is there
anything that you're looking at right now? Like, are there any newer, younger artists that?
Yeah, but I ain't giving you the sauce.
Oh man. I mean, what do you listen to in general? Like when you're
I listen to jazz. I'm an old man, so I like Miles Davis. Obviously, right? I like Dizzy. I like Charles Mingus. He's fire. My favorite pianist is Bill Evans. That shit. I work out to that shit. Like, that shit is so calming because when I listen to hip hop, it's probably like either too influential or I'm too judgy. You know, like contemporary hip hop,
Right.
not classic shit. You know, so I listen to something new. It's like I'm listening as a fan, like, oh, you know, and it's like I'm digesting it. And but when it comes to jazz, you just appreciate the nuances of the music. You know, it's really eclectic when you can make that connection and distinction between the derivative of hip hop is jazz, which is rock and roll, which is country, which is blues, which is this, all of it derived from jazz, from black people to now. Just to see how it just flips and people don't understand, like you could remix it, you could put this on it, put that on it. It's still the same thing. And when I realized that, oh shit, this is just early hip hop. Cause that jazz is what James Brown used to make funk. And that funk is what rappers use to make hip hop.
Yeah. So it all circles the same thing.
For real. It is music lover shit. You gotta be into it. Half of the kids don't even know who some of these people are we talking about, and they don't need to until they get to an age where they want to fuck with that shit. I don't expect motherfuckers to be on some Juilliard shit and listening to fucking, you know, Miles Davis and John Coltrane. It's like, at the end of the day, that's my shit. I'm on my cat daddy swag. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I figured that's what calms me. You know, and it allows me to just relax and not really think about it, like, and appreciate the sounds, you know?
Cool. I mean, yeah, speaking of kind of like the adult dad swag, you know, I think there was a clip of the paparazzi and you were jogging and like, it was like you made them basically catch up with you or whatever. While you
the Bottega shit.
Yeah.
That was fly.
I mean, what kind of stuff do you get into to kind of like maintain your health as you get older?
What you trying to say I'm fat?
Nah, bro, I'm trying to say you're fit. That's what I'm
clean.
saying.
You throwing shots, gang. Look, I'm a little insecure. Don't be doing all
Nah.
that. I'm fucking with you. But nah, you know, really and truly, it's every human has to do this. If you want to live long and if you want a longer lifespan, you just gotta try to be healthier. I'm not perfect, bro. I don't even eat meat, but I eat.
You don't eat
junk
meat?
food. Nah, man.
Oh.
Nah, I'm a vegetarian, but like, I literally eat junk food. You know?
Just to fill in
Smoke weed,
space, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I drink a lot. Like, I got my vices, but to stay like focused and stuff, I take breaks. I stop smoking sometimes. Like, you know, even to go on tour, sometimes, you know, you gotta quit drinking, you gotta quit smoking, you gotta get on a routine, get your breath work right. It's just a lot of preparation that goes into it, but it's discipline at the end of the day.
Yeah, because touring, I can imagine, is like physically demanding.
But it's dope though, because like you're not realizing that, like, yeah, I'm actually exercising, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's like a fun experience for you. For me, you know, it's just like a crazy experience. All jokes aside, man, imagine putting out a product and then thousands of people coming together to celebrate and, like, you know, that product.
That's crazy.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They come in to celebrate that album, they favorite song, they least favorite song, the da-da-da. All right, I know this song about to come in. This is my bathroom break time. Like, you know, that's the shit that I live for. I live to see people who never even knew each other. You come to a concert by yourself and you leave with new friends. That I heard some of the craziest stories about that shit. And I just love what I do. So this shit is just, I'm hyped.
Cool. Do you know, I mean, when's the tour? Can you say when it's going to start?
Yeah, it starts this month.
Oh, wow.
27th.
What's the first show going to be?
Chicago.
Cool.
Chicago, man.
So it's really gearing up. Have you been doing like rehearsals, practicing? Like, how have you been preparing?
Yeah, well, rehearsals start next week, and I've been prepping on just smoking all the weed I could smoke now,
and getting it all
having
out,
all the fun I can have now.
Yeah,
and, you know.
Are you gonna bring the kids on any of the stops?
Yeah, perhaps, but I'm not too keen to like bringing them into all that loud shit. And, you know, people smoking weed, drinking, and these are babies, bro. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting too. Or you kind of mentioned earlier, like, you know, you don't want them to be seen as Nepo babies, or be prepared at least for kind of when they start to be noticed. Are you the type of person that wants to keep them kind of protect it, or are you gonna like allow them to like get on TikTok or whatever?
Nah, as a parent, you always want to protect your kids, right? But yeah, I'm gonna let them do their TikToks unless it's a problem. You know, I know that people like I always say, man, I ain't letting my kids have social media until so meaning I would let them be on TikTok, but not have a profile. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
They don't need an account.
To be posting themselves on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I think that I don't want to deprive them of a childhood or a fun experience, but I do want to protect them from the evils of the world. And, you know, the world is unpredictable and people are sometimes crazy, you know?
Facts. All right, really appreciate you talking to me, man. That was a good conversation.
Bro, that's whack as hell,
That was not
bro.
good. That
No,
was
you're
good.
not
That was
doing
good.
that.
That was good.
I done spoke to your ass. I'm tired of talking to you too. Listen, give me a great outro. Don't be doing no shit like that.
All right.
This was epic. This is our first vibe. Like, what the fuck?
First vibe cover.
First vibe in years. Go out with a bang, bro.
ASAP Rocky, everybody.
Yeah.
No, but appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, bro. This interview was dope.
Appreciate
I
it.
really appreciate it. Thank you, Vibe Magazine, for having me. Brother, thank you for interviewing me. I love the questions.
Cool.
No doubt.